Hi everyone. So the 150 is finally done. I guess you've seen it, and I just felt this was a good opportunity to give my thoughts, give my story behind what happened here, and so on. And well, where do we even start? I guess we go back to the PTR, season 21. The patch was delayed a long time, and then it got delayed again after it was already announced for the PTR because there were some bugs. And well, eventually the PTR came around, and man, I was glad to play it. But then we realized, oh, the Galaxy Mount is completely broken and nothing works really. So unfortunate. And well, suddenly the next patch on the PTR, it was pumping. They fixed a lot of the bugs and they buffed it on top of that with a lot of the feedback that we have given. And yeah, suddenly the event was really good. And this was what we've all been waiting for, I guess. Right? So many people played Demon Hunter this season. It's actually insane to see, this level of participation and this level of hype. And I saw so many familiar faces from like 15 seasons ago to come back to play Demon Hunter. So crazy stuff. And I knew, this would be my season. And well, unfortunate for me, yeah, I have full-time work. So it's kind of hard to compete, in like any high level, play because, well, when you're working, you're losing like 50 hours a week. That is quite a big loss in a world where paragons matter. But I knew I wanted a 150, We've seen a season theme, and we knew that Demon Hunters would be quite good, We saw the non-season clears going all the way up to 150 quite early. We, like I already estimated, like a Paragon 2K character is probably going to be somewhere around tier 140 or higher, just from looking at that. And then we found, like these small piece by piece, these improvements to go higher and higher. We found the Vadas bequest, and we learned how to play around this whole set, how to make most use of this piercing effect. We found the missile dampening, and yeah, in the end, it just turned out to be stronger and stronger than expected. And suddenly, yeah, like a Paragon 2K character was able to do up to like 142, 143 even. So pretty crazy stuff. And then came the season theme. And yeah, well, we knew that the season theme would be nerfed probably from the PTR, but we didn't know how much, So we had to wait until the live service. And yeah, I know that we were getting really close to the 150 goal. So I set my eyes on that, my goal. Quite early already when I realized, that the season theme is actually doing quite a bit. And even with this changed version where you have to stack up the kills and then improve the season theme and so on, it would mean that you have to kill stuff in 150. And that's not an easy task to do, even with something like a God TH. But most importantly, we had to find out whether you can kill bosses. Yeah, so that was a big question mark. And so after the first initial grind, we went to test that. And then we realized, yeah, if you have like 300 stacks, that works pretty well. But yeah, 300 stacks is unrealistic. I've had that in like 2 rifts at one point or so, and this only happened because of Red Call illusionist packs. So yeah, realistic, stack values in the tier 150 solo push are somewhere between 40 to 120, and this somehow has to kill the boss, and then you can sometimes get a little more of a convert. So yeah, I decided, testing out, some crazy stuff very early on with my non-augmented character. I went into straight tier 140. I think I had like 13k dex or so trying that. And I did that for like an hour or so. And then I had one run where I was ahead of time. And being ahead of time was good enough for me, You just need one snowball. You just need one twister proc to kill a boss. And I knew at this point, okay, this is it. This was like 1 week into the season. I had my crappy non-augmented character, and I knew I'm gonna clear 150 very soon. So there we go, fast forward to Paragon 2.2k. I had my full setup, I had my bounty sessions done, I've reforged like 2.5k mats, I grinded hundreds of rifts, and at this point I had like 130 hours played or so. This was 2 weeks after the season start, so I averaged somewhere at like around 9 hours a day, which was kind of a hard schedule to keep up, because I was doing YouTube at the same time, I was working, and then basically, yeah, I still had the evenings where, I had like 6 hours or so. So basically, I had to reduce my sleep to effectively nothing throughout the week to actually, keep up, with my competition, to keep up with my goal of being, the first, which, yeah, unlucky, I got the second, but okay. It was expected. It was not really I was not really expecting that I would have a chance to be the first, but I got the second, and I got the fastest clear so far. And just overall, I'm very proud of it. And with the amount of really good runs of like these crazy tries where I like even spawned with Guardians in 10 minutes or 9 minutes at one point, and some other crazy stuff that happened during this push. I was just really happy with my result in the end anyway. But okay, so I knew competing is not really a thing, but I gave my best shot basically. So there we are, like 2 weeks into the season, and as always, I go for the crazy low Paragon push because that's what I like to do. I don't like grinding Paragons. There were so many people, and oh, why don't you just grind another 1k Paragon? It's gonna be so easy. Dude, no. My character is able to do 150, I'll do 150, okay? That's it. End of story. So, I don't care how hard it is, I know it's possible. And this was, kind of the starting point for the push. 2.2k Paragon, and I knew, after testing a little bit, after upgrading my character, I had like 20k main stat. I threw on my typical crappy 120 augments, and now we blast. That was it. My gear was really good, and I just decided, okay, this is the time. And after the first night of pushing, I already knew, okay, this is happening. Yeah, and well, I got extremely unlucky all the fucking time. It was so horrible. Oh man, and when I finally got the snowball on boss, it just, it was not enough, or it would bounce away because, I was not really aiming it properly. In some cases, you didn't have much time to set it up. In some cases, it was like an unknown terrain, unknown map, where I didn't really know the bouncing spots, and, going through all the maps to learn all the bouncing spots is a pretty big endeavor by itself. So I decided, I would learn a few and, kind of like get the basics down, and then learn like a few of the key spots, basically, like in Festering Woods, the exit I use very often, because, well, Festering Woods is also what I'm fishing for. And there was also like, 1 or 2 spots in the battlefields. And, there were runs that I could have beaten, maybe, if everything had gone well, and I would have played it a little bit better. But, in hindsight, it's always easy to tell. Especially with a new mechanic like the snowballs, with those twisters, with just learning the flow of the season theme of the 150s. You need to learn it basically, right? And I did notice that my runs were getting better and better. Like I was improving a lot over time, and that's not because of the 300 Paragons I gained. This was almost nothing, but it was because I learned to play around the season theme a lot. And I was just getting consistent boss spawns all the time near the end. Like every night of pushing, I had like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 boss spawns or so. And well, it's a 20% chance for the twister, it's a 20% chance for the snowball. Originally, I was going for the snowball kill, and funny enough, all of my really close tries happened to be twisters. So I had this really early cold snap. This was like, I think the second day of pushing or so, where I got a cold snap 30% try. And then we had like a few days later, we had a Crusader King 20% try, both with twisters. And I was really surprised that this was going so well. And I was still going for the snowball though, because with the snowball you need fewer stacks. And like the kind of minimum for a snowball kill is like 90. And the kind of minimum for a twister is like 120, I would say. So it depends, how they move around and so on. But in like a really good case, I guess 120 could be possible with like the right boss that stays in, and there's like 4 twisters on the boss all the time or something like this. So this was kind of like my expectation that I came around to. Later on, originally I thought I need fewer stacks, so I was thinking like 50, 60, maybe 70 stacks or so. Snowball is probably okay. Twisters I didn't even consider. And then we suddenly had these crazy tries, and I was like, okay, actually I can try it more often. And then obviously, how do you get those stacks? It works the best obviously when you have the conduit. So when you kind of progress your way through the rift and you're like at 80%, and then you find the conduit, that's like the perfect scenario, because then you can basically just click it and you get like 200 stacks or close to, or at least like 150, depending on the monster types of course, and how many elites you have to finish. And that will give you a really good shot at killing the boss. And I just always got the fucking fire wave and the beam and the meteors. Or for once I get the snowball, and then it's some scuffed corner and it actually bounces out. Oh man, it was horrible. But you have seen the compilation, I guess, on the 150 clear. So yeah, there were a lot more tries at this, and yeah, eventually, finally, we actually killed it with the twisters. Yeah, that was quite an interesting twist, so to say. And well, it was a crazy push with 5.5k keys, and this was by far the most that I've tried. Originally, I set out to go for around 2 to 3k keys, so this was my expectation. And considering my my average boss spawns every like 150-ish keys or so, the ratio improved a little towards the end. Yeah, this was actually a really good estimation, I guess. So it just turned out that I got really unlucky, and that I very closely failed some of these runs that should have been clear. So my estimate was actually extremely accurate in that sense, because I thought that I need around 15 boss spawns. So this would mean 3 snowballs on the boss and also 3 twisters on average. And that would give me like, considering the different situations where I might not have a spot to bounce a snowball, I might not have a twister spot, I might have a boss that is like unkillable with a snowball, something like Ember or whatever that teleports around. We almost can't kill those bosses. So I kind of like calculated that in, and I thought like, okay, 15 boss spawns is gonna do it. And this was just considering snowball kills, not even twisters. And yeah, in the end I had 40 boss spawns, because yeah, I think I was really on the unlucky side. I had these really close runs, but I was on the unlucky side. But okay, that happens. Sometimes you get unlucky. But well, yeah, it turned out to be around twice as many keys as I hoped it would take. And yeah, this is just the RNG sometimes, I guess. But yeah, it was a crazy push. It was the longest push ever for me. I did use more keys in Season 20 overall, but I was pushing 6 different classes in Season 20. So I there's 1k Monk, 1k Barb, 2.5k Witch Doctor, 800 Demon Hunter, and so on. And kind of these 1k key pushes are typically what I do. Also Season 19 Crusader was like 1.2k keys, but it almost took the same length as the Season 21 push, funny enough, where I used like over 4 times the amount of keys, because I was playing through rifts a lot more in Season 19. So yeah, it was nice. It was also really exhausting. So I'm quite happy that I'm done now, and I kind of had to be done. There's this one funny screenshot from my hard drive that is so close to being full, because I was recording all the footage, plus I have like some old stuff and so on, but I kind of really sorted out, I squeezed out as much space as possible to make sure that I can keep my footage without deleting anything as I go, because I wanted to make the compilation, because I want to make a guide and so on. And yeah, I really wanted to keep everything for now at least. And yeah, I couldn't have gone another day without deleting something from my hard drive. So it had to happen at that date, on this Saturday when it actually happened. And it was exactly 2 weeks after I started pushing. So every night I went for like 5, 6, up to like 10 hours or so on a weekend, pushing all day. And then you're getting more keys from my viewers that helped me out a lot. And then pushing again. And I would use like my average like 60 keys an hour or so, mostly fishing for festering and battlefields as a starting point. And then if it had like a mediocre monster type, I would just rush through, look for a missile dampening. If not, go next. And if it had like one of the like, let's say, top 7 monster types or so, I would play them. So there was like 25% chance to get a good monster type. And yeah, then depending on what the next floors are, I was going through a lot of floors sometimes, up to the end pylon, to floor 8 or so very often, because I did have the time. I just never was able to finish, because you need very specific monsters on the T150 with the Demon Hunter. But yeah, this is expected. This is what rift fishing is. It is a journey, So these RNG factors, they are fine. They are part of the game. They can be reduced a bit, and actually I might talk a little bit about this at another point. But overall, this is what pushing is. And just for myself personally, I think it was a really great experience. First of all, I had insane support from reviewers, from you guys on Twitch, from you guys on YouTube. I had so many subscribers on Twitch. I more than doubled my record from before that. I had like my record was in Season 20 with like 340 Twitch subs, and then we went over 800 now. Obviously that's not gonna last, I don't expect to stay at that level, But it was just incredible support. I got so many people in chat, they were cheering for those crazy runs all the time and so on. So it was just an amazing experience pushing, even though it's exhausting, and you can't keep this up forever, obviously. It's just crazy at some point. But 5.5K keys, I don't know, this will probably stay my longest push ever, my craziest push with one class, with one build on one tier. But who knows? Well, there's going to be some more crazy seasons to come, I assume. But thank you all very much for being there. I thought also this was like an incredibly cool community building experience as well. So there was just so many new people as well, and so many people being there every single night when I was doing my 150s, and it was just an amazing journey. So thank you all for that. And hope you liked my little story time. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time.